Welcome back to AutoTechNick, and this week I'm going to bring you guys along as we're getting my shop, Scuderia Custode, set up. Also, we're going to fly down to Austin, Texas for a collaboration with NG Supercar. All right, guys, here's the deal. We're going to jump into this collaboration and talk about why we're down here in Austin, Texas a little bit later in the video. But first, we're going to jump back to earlier in the week where I was focusing on getting our new shop that we just acquired set up and outfitted and talking about getting all of our stuff moved into the new place. As you guys can see, I brought you back to the home shop, and that is because we have several things that we need to discuss and talk about why we're here. Now, I actually just took delivery of the new shop today. I actually went down there, grabbed the keys. That's where we filmed the last video where I showed you guys the shop. And I actually had the truck full of stuff, so I got that all unloaded. And really is what I'm trying to do is each time I drive to the shop, I'm going to be moving stuff down to the shop. So I'm back out here today after I just got home, and we need to start packing more stuff up and getting it loaded in the shop. And that's really what I want to talk about is, you know, I have a big move ahead of me. I have 3 cars that need to go to the shop. I have a toolbox that we are going to be taking to the shop and other equipment. So I wanted to bring you guys in here and kind of give you a little bit of an idea or rundown of what I have planned and kind of how it's all going to work out. Now, I will say that I am incredibly thankful that the clients that I have right now, I've made them aware of this move. They knew it was coming, and they are all been so great to work with, so flexible, so easygoing, because we have our 2009 430 that's been finished, and it's sitting right here. Now, this client is going to swap out another car with me when he picks the 430 up, so we've actually just kind of been waiting until we have the new shop. So I will be driving that car down to the shop, and then we'll be making that trade then. Our 355 from Houston, that car, as you can see, it's off the lift. It is finished. I've been getting some miles on it and driving it. That's obviously because the car is going back to Houston. It's such a long ways. I talked to the client. We both agreed. That's having me drive the car and put some decent miles on the car. To really shake it down and make sure it's good, so that way we have full confidence once he has the car back in Houston. We know that everything's good, everything's dialed, and there's really no issues there. So it kind of plays out in our favor because since the car's done and I need to drive it, we're going to be driving it down to the new shop, driving it back and forth, putting miles on it. So he knows that the car is finished, and we're just shaking her down, making sure everything's good. And on our 2013 458 right here, I've already finished the inspection on this car, and this car is actually going to be the bridge on the channel where I did all the inspection, filmed a video here in the shop, and as it turns out, that's the last video that I'm filming here in the shop covering one specific car. That car, I got it looked over, went back to the client, we discussed our overall plans of scope of work that we're going to do to this car, which it did increase from what we originally had planned when it came here. We're going to need to get some parts on order. There's also some parts we're going to have to send out. So there's going to be a pretty big delay in wait time. That kind of plays into our favor because, again, this client knows that I'm going to move the car down to the shop for him, get it down there, and then I can pretty quickly get the car disassembled, move into working on it, and then get my parts sent off. And while I'm waiting for those parts to come back, I will also have the parts that I'm waiting on to arrive. And that's going to give me time to help get the shop set up, organized, and everything going while still maintaining some good workflow on the cars. Car-wise, we're in good shape. And I mean, I've kind of been planning it. I knew this was coming. It didn't sneak up on me. So I was sure to not have a car completely torn apart because then my tools are stuck here at home and then it makes this entire move very difficult. So what we need to get these cars into the new shop is first and foremost, I need security installed in the shop, which that should be happening this week. And then I need a good clear day, get the cars ran down there, get my tools ran down there, and that's really the key thing. And my tools are going to follow the cars. So that's the lowdown with the cars. Let's talk about our tools and equipment. I guess we'll start here with this old lift. I am not taking this lift with me. I am going to leave it right here. Part of that is because the way it's installed, it would be difficult to take out. Also, part of it is I like having a lift here at my home shop, although we're a little vertically challenged. That lift, I've said it so many times, is terrible for Ferraris. I am going to get the appropriate lifts that are going to enable me to do the quality of work that I want at the level that I want. Really just enable, not be such a slowdown, a bottleneck, you know, getting these cars on these lifts. You can see right now at this 458, this lift arm, if I move it over, you can see right there, not even close. Can't even get it under the car. So lift is staying, and I didn't really want to pillage my shop here, but I'm going to have to because, as I mentioned, I am building this business with my own capital. So it's going to be a lean operation to start with. There's no sense in really duplicating everything just yet, because I'm going to be spending all my time at my full-time job at Blue Origin, or I'm going to be spending my time at the shop. There's not going to be much going on here in my home shop because I won't have weekends, the tinker and putter. So we can probably take some things out of here, move it into the new shop until we get set up. Then they will eventually return back home to have a similar setup. So things that are going, I'm taking our benches here. They're going to be moving. These lower cabinets, they will all stay. I'll be taking that other bench, and I will be taking the entire toolbox setup. As for like the cabinets, the upper cabinets, all this stuff, that is all staying. And then I have a lot of other tools and equipment around that will be going. You know, we have our distributor machine that is specific to the shop, so we need that. I have some other equipment, my press, bandsaw is going to stay, but you can see I just have stuff stuffed everywhere. I have the inner fender liners out of this 458. Everything is so crammed and jammed. I mentioned before, overflowing. I am bursting at the seams here in my home shop. So that's really what I'm out here today doing. I'm starting to work through the shop. I'm pulling all my Ferrari parts off the shelves, pulling all my books, all my inventory, getting all my tools kind of separated. I have all the old Ferrari parts that I have laying around, all my new parts, getting all of that ready, separated so I can load into the truck. Each time I drive to the shop, I'm taking that stuff, I'm going to drop off a load. And then when it comes to like the benches and toolboxes, we're going to have a specific day to either get a U-Haul trailer or a U-Haul itself to load the toolbox, depending on weather. I prefer a trailer because it's easier to load, but I need good weather for that. We're going to have to kind of, like right now I'm taking the low-hanging fruit, and then once we have good weather, I have security in the shop, everything's set up, we're moving the cars and we're moving the tools. So the shop here, it's kind of sad. I'm kind of deconstructing what I've built and I've spent so much time in. You guys have spent a lot of time in here. The plan is to slowly kind of make that transition. We're going to focus this video series on the new shop. And then once we see what is remaining of this shop, once we're done with the move, I'll probably bring you back someday and show you around. But for now, I guess we're probably going to make this an almost goodbye to the home shop. And this is it at its peak, at max capacity. And as of right now, things are going to start getting thinner, and more space in here, get more stuff moved to the new space. So I'm going to work on getting everything loaded up, and I'll see you guys at the new shop tomorrow morning. Well, welcome back, and I would normally say good morning, but we really should probably be saying good afternoon. I did get here first thing this morning. My drive was exactly like I anticipated, nice quick 20-minute drive, and I have been so busy all morning with people in and out. I didn't have a chance to grab the camera and start recording and showing you what the plan for today was, which I guess is kind of a good thing because that means I was efficient with scheduling people and planning to get people in. So I'll really just recap you with where we started at the morning. I mean, when I got here first thing this morning, my security guy was sitting here waiting for me. So first thing, number one priority is getting some security in the unit so that way we can start putting real things in the unit. He was here for a while, got me all set up, and we're all taken care of on that front. And while he was here, my rep for the lifts actually came by, so we did a spot check to make sure that we have the space positioning for the lifts. And really the biggest thing on that is cracks in the concrete. They cannot secure a bolt within 6 inches of a crack, so we kind of have to play a little dance of any existing cracks in the concrete and where I ideally want the lifts. So I'll show you, you can see where we're kind of mapped out. We got these jugs here on the floor where we have plans for my lifts. Really is what I have envisioning is where the lifts are going to be at an angle to where I can pull the cars in that way and have them tucked in. And I'm going to be installing just 2 lifts from the start, but we mapped out the spot for a 3rd lift back here because I want to have positioning set up correctly in our initial 2 lifts, so that way when it comes time for this 3rd lift down the road that we don't have to move everything and everything's set up and ready to go. I think though on the list where we're looking at, so I'm looking straight right here, that I'm gonna have to take the lifts and turn them more so it's easier to get the cars in and out. I'll be coming and going from this rear door back here, getting the cars in, and I'll probably keep that spot up there where my truck is, more like a storage spot. We got everything kind of roughly mapped out, and the installer is gonna come and we'll fine tune the exact positioning of the lifts when he's here and they're here ready to get installed. So that was taken care of this morning and we're pretty much set. Today is Thursday, so I really only have today, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is when I'm working at Blue, and then that leaves me next Monday is when the lifts are set up to be installed. So things are happening quick here. Like I said, security was taken care of. Lifts, we have those roughly positioned. We're a go for Monday. And the last person I had stop by was actually an electrician, because part of the lease agreement when I got this space was have the landlords revise the lighting. It's pretty decent in here. We have some good skylights, but it's a little dim, say like in this back corner and all the way up in the front of my truck. So the unit has just 3 of these LED lights in it and those skylights. So they did agree to that, so that way I can make the changes to the lighting that I need, so that way I can work, but also so it appears good on camera. So the electrician came by today. We talked about what we're going to be doing for the lighting. We have a plan in place, and fortunately that one's not on me. I get that one taken care of. So I think we kind of have a rough idea of timing on that. And the good thing is when they come back for the lighting, the lifts are already going to be installed. So they're going to have a scissor lift here while they're revising the lighting, which is on the landlords. And I talked to him, maybe taking advantage of the fact that scissor lift is here, and we can get those lifts wired in at the same time. That'll save me some money. So that's all pretty good news and exciting. And you know, as I said yesterday, we loaded some stuff up in the truck, and I'm just starting to bring stuff here. Brought a lot of cleaning supplies, and that's really what I have a lot ahead of me, guys, because I think this place was like a wood shop or something last, because you can see on the walls right here, it's just covered in dust. On top of everything, there's dust everywhere, sawdust. It's all over the floors. It's everywhere. So I have a lot of cleanup to do, and I'm really just trying to be as smart as I can with my time while I have people coming and going from the unit, and I'm here at the unit and I can't work on cars. I want to be as efficient and use my time the best I can so I can start cleaning. I have boxes of shelves that I need to get set up so I can start getting stuff set up into the shelves. I need to take down whatever's going on up there, get that sorted. So there's just a lot of assembly of things, cleaning, organizing, and that's really, I had planned to get a lot of that done this morning while everybody was coming and going today, but the way it worked out, I was busy all day talking to each one of them. As soon as one would leave, someone else would immediately pull in. I think I'm free on obligations for the rest of today here, which is good, and it's gonna give me a couple hours to start getting everything cleaned up here. I mean, you can see we got spider webs, cobwebs, leaves. That's not gonna work for me. We're gonna have to get this stuff cleaned up. I mean, you can just see the dust everywhere. Not gonna work. It's starting to track on my shoes. I can see it starting to track in the office, so I need to get this whole place cleaned and swept. So that's really what I'm gonna focus on. I'm probably gonna focus up here, starting to get this whole side cleaned and swept. And I gotta get the walls cleaned. Hopefully you can see it on the camera. You can see where they like broom cleaned it halfway up and then stopped. So I'm gonna spend some time getting that stuff cleaned up, and then I am going to probably start getting on these shelves, getting those assembled, because I think they're gonna go in that corner back there, and that's gonna allow me to start getting some of this stuff put in those shelves, starting getting some things organized and cleaned up. I think I'm gonna focus on that, and then I'll bring you guys back here at the end of my day today to kind of let you know how things went, where we went, and yeah, we'll just go from there. So I'll see you guys in a few. Well, day one in the new shop is done and over with, and I think it was pretty productive, although the shop looks pretty much the same. So we got here this morning, we got security installed and taken care of, so we're set there. That's great. The lifts, we got them mapped out. They're gonna be here Monday. Get those installed, that's fantastic. And the electrician came, we talked about lighting, to get that sorted, and to get the lifts wired, which I think the timing of everything is gonna work pretty great. And once we got all that done, I spent some time cleaning, like I mentioned, kind of vacuuming on the walls to get that dust off. I need a different attachment that I have at home, and I have 4 2-foot extensions for my shop vac, so I can pretty much get all the way to the top, maybe with a step stool, and I essentially need to vacuum the walls. It's really bad right there in that section. But I went along and vacuumed on top of all the conduit, all electrical boxes, in all the cracks and corners, all the way around the entire shop. Cleaned everything up. I even went through and swept the floor, which it looks like I just pushed the dirt around. I'm trying to get as much of this up first, and I figure it would obviously be a lot easier to get like a leaf blower in here and blow it all out, but I'm trying to minimize the amount. I'm just whipping it all around. So the more of it that I can sweep up, vacuum up before we come in and leaf blow and really give this a good cleanse, the better. And I had my truck in here, and I just pulled it outside just now, and it's covered in dust. So that's a good thing to keep in mind, because I need to get this cleaned before we have the client cars in here, because I don't want to get them covered in dust. So I got that taken care of. You can see behind me, I have all my shelving. I got it all unboxed. I started by getting one out and getting it assembled, and I realized that the worst part of that is getting them out of the packaging, unwrapped and everything. basically tossed and thrown away. It's actually my trash weekend, so I figured I'm gonna, you know what, be smart. I'm gonna get them all unpackaged, everything set up, so that way I can work and continue to get those assembled. And I'll probably focus on that next week while we're getting our lifts installed and that's taken care of. Now, today being Thursday, that actually happens to be the end of my work week that I have for the shop. I spend Friday, Saturday, and Sunday working full-time at Blue Origin. So that means typically this is gonna be the last day that we have time to film for these vlog videos before I edit it and get them uploaded. However, since this one's so short, we got into this week late, and next week's actually gonna be short too, because we have Monday, we're getting the lifts installed. And then on Tuesday, I'm flying to Austin, Texas with my son, and we're gonna do another collaboration with a normal guy supercar. So we're not gonna have much time out here in the shop either. So I figure, you know what, I'm gonna capture this week and all of next week on this one video. So I'm gonna bring you guys back in here Monday. We're gonna see the action that's going on in here. Hopefully we're gonna have our lifts installed and it's gonna look like a real shop. And then you guys are gonna follow along with me and my son as we head down to Austin, Texas, and kind of help Dan with one of the cars they have. So with that, I'm gonna wrap it up, head home, get ready for my other job. I'll see you guys back out here in the shop early, very early Monday morning. Well, good morning. Here we are. It's Monday morning. We made it through our work week at Blue, so we're free here to work back at Scuderia Custode. We're heading down to the shop quite a bit earlier this morning because, well, the gentleman there to install the lifts is supposed to be here pretty early this morning. I'm trying to beat him there. They didn't give me an exact time he would be there. I just was told he'd be there early, so I'm making some assumptions. Heading down, I got the truck completely filled up yet again with more stuff, so I'll keep myself busy while I'm waiting for the lift installer to get there. I got plenty of stuff to unload, organize. I got shelves to build. We got plenty to do. Today is gonna be a busy, big, eventful, and long day. Priority number one is getting these lifts installed. So we're gonna get, that is first and foremost the main goal for today. But on top of that, today is gorgeous. It is completely sunny, clear, no clouds. It is supposed to be, I think, 75 degrees today. The absolute perfect day to move the tools and cars down as well. That is all going to be dependent on how the lift installation goes and what time he's done and when I can break free and leave to go grab a trailer, come home, grab my toolbox. And then the cars, that's easy. We can shuttle those down at any time during the day. But that is the goal today. The goal today is to get the lifts installed into the shop. Get my tools, toolboxes, benches, equipment, my press, my cherry picker, all this equipment that I have, tool cart, all of that moved down into the shop. And then we have 3 cars to run down into the shop. So a lot to do today. That's one reason why I'm grabbing the camera and talking now, because I don't know if the lift guy's already there and if we're gonna be jumping straight into it or not. Oh, and there's a phone call right there. I'm gonna jump on that and I'll see you guys back in a little bit because I think that's the lift guy calling. All right, I'm back, and so like I anticipated, yep, that was lift installer Pete. He's already there. I mean, it is just a little after 6:30, and he is there, ready to go. I'm glad I grabbed the camera and started filling you guys in for this morning because I know it's gonna be crazy once I get there. It's gonna be a crazy day. We're just gonna hit the ground running. We have to get those lifts positioned where they need to go, so I'll work with Pete on that. Really need to rely on his expertise. And yeah, I'll bring you guys along at periods during the day, see how things are going. I'm looking forward to today. It's gonna be a good day. Let's get to the shop and get after it. Well guys, it is now 11:45 and the lift installers just left. They made quick work out of the lifts, and honestly, I probably made them be here longer than they wanted to as I was kind of nitpicking where we're gonna put them. But I'll give you guys a quick glance of what we got going on. So our 2 lifts, and I think once I'm done with everything I have to do today, I'll bring you guys back and we'll talk about those in a little bit more detail. And there's actually a couple other things I want to talk about here in the shop, but we got more junk unloaded, and I was working on the shelves while they were busy getting the lifts installed and set up. I have my buddy Anthony here with me today, so he's going to help me run back to the house, get the trailer, get my toolbox loaded, get it unloaded. We can see him here pulling his car in. We're going to store it in the shop while we're running around today. So we're gonna get that stuff taken care of. And like I mentioned, I had a lot to do today. So my priority is getting my tools and toolboxes here today and then get the cars down. Once I get that stuff sorted, I'll bring you back. We'll talk about these lifts, a few other key things here in the shop. And yeah, a lot to do today, so let's get to it. Well, it has been a long day. Let me tell you, it is 9:02 p.m. So I've been going at it since 6 a.m. this morning, and we had a lot of wins today, and really there was multiple big wins. And I would say that any one of those wins getting done today would have been a win for the day. But there was actually 3 huge wins. You know, I'm so glad that I grabbed the camera on the drive in, because I kind of had a feeling that Pete and his crew were going to be here early and I wasn't going to be able to get much recording done, and that definitely was the case. We got here early, immediately moved in, got the lifts installed, got those taken care of. That's win number 1. Win number 2, the toolbox is here. So toolbox, we took the cabinets or the benches from my home shop, we got those there, and tool cart, got cherry picker, press, a lot of the equipment, all of that went and picked up the trailer, got everything loaded with no problem, got everything driven down here, unloaded. Huge win, huge win. I needed a nice clean or clear day because I didn't want to deal with rain to get everything wet. I didn't want to have to get a box truck to move it because it's so difficult to strap anything like that down in it, not to mention the weight of that is going to overcome the walls of those trucks easily. Got that taken care of. It went flawless. It was beautiful weather today, 70 degrees, 75 degrees. I think you couldn't ask for anything more. So there's 2 big wins. On top of that, you guys already saw a peak. Look at that. 458 in the shop, 355 in the shop, 430 in the shop. Got all of the cars that we had ran down to the shop today. In total, I think I made 5 trips from the shop to my house today. Got it all done. It was a long day. I'm pretty excited. There is basically all the big stuff is moved in here that I need. I still have all like my chemicals, small hand tools. We have like my 355 subframe cart, all the go jacks. There's a lot of miscellaneous stuff that I still have to bring in from home, but all the bulk of the big stuff is here. But most importantly, my tools are here, the cars are here, especially right now because the next project is this 458, and I actually don't need a functional lift to get started on this car. So that means I can jump in, start getting this car torn down, start working while I'm waiting for the electricians to take care of the electrical for the lifts and adding lighting in the shop. Now, I know I mentioned earlier in this video that we were going to talk about the lifts, what I chose, why I chose it, and what those lifts are. And I also said that I had a few things in the shop that I wanted to talk about. They're key things that I didn't capture in this video or the initial video. But truth be told, with it already being 9 o'clock at night tonight, I want to go home. I would like to relax. I have to be up relatively early tomorrow. We have a mid-morning flight, as I mentioned, so my son and I are hopping on a plane to do that collaboration with Dan at NG Supercars. We've really covered a lot, so much in this video already. I think I'm going to save the lifts and those other things that I want to talk about here in the shop for the next series of videos. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring you guys along with us down to Texas while we do our collaboration. And then, yeah, I think that's a pretty packed video. A lot going on there, and we've made so much progress in this shop. So I took this shop last Wednesday. I moved some stuff in on Thursday, had all the people look. The lift sales rep came, looked at the lifts, the electrician came, got that taken care of. I went to Blue Origin and worked Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and today is Monday. And I have tools, benches, boxes, lifts. That's moving. I just need lights and electrical and to get everything organized and arranged. It's just a hot mess. I have everything just thrown there now. I'm trying to get everything that I have here so I can separate it, decide where it wants to go, and then decide where I want those cabinets and get everything put away. So I have still a lot left to do here. I think we're gonna call today a insanely massive victory. It's a huge win. I'm gonna call it a wraps for today, and I'll see you guys back tomorrow when we're heading down to Austin. So I'll see you guys in the morning. right, so we made it to Austin. It's the perfect flight, which was uneventful, which is what you always want. I got Trevor over here with me. He's trying to avoid the camera right now. I don't know why. He's been on the channel plenty with his own videos. It's probably been a while since you guys seen him. He's grown quite a bit. He's pretty excited for the day when he's actually going to be taller than me.
I am taller than you.
Nah, he thinks he is, but he's not. So today is just a travel day. We're going to go grab a rental car. It's nearly a 4-hour flight from Seattle, so we're going to grab something to eat. And then we're going to head over to Dan's place and pretty much call it a day for today. So I'll see you guys tomorrow morning at Normal Guy Supercar working on our collaboration project. Well guys, here we are, NG Supercars. We made it. It was a bit of an eventful evening last night. Turns out I forgot to book a rental car. Well, that was a little fun and fiasco that we had to work through, but we got that taken care of, just a bit of a delay, and had a nice evening. Hung out with Dan, and here we are with Dan and a absolutely full shop of cars. There's a lot going on in here
We
today.
could fit a couple more.
I think you're fitting one more.
You
maybe.
can fit one here and one under there. That's true. The lifts are all down.
Yep, you could definitely get more under the lift. So I see what? We got some 360s in the back corner, 430, 488, 430, 360, 430, 458, 458, 355, 458, 458. Which car do you think I'm here to work on? Is it not obvious? One of them is not like the others.
Right. One of these.
So we're here for this 355, and yeah, you guys know how I feel about 355s. I love them.
I do too.
We got, what's going on with the Dan?
So this is my friend Jeff's car, and Jeff has owned it for 15 plus years, God knows how many miles, and he took it on a driveway or a runway run. They were doing high-speed passes on a runway, and afterwards it started making some very substantial noises, and he thought for sure it was going to blow up. So much so that he had it towed here, he refused to drive it anymore, and the sound magically went away.
As they do sometimes.
So I'll send him a bill and we're done. We just hang out for the rest of the day. And
yeah, it's fixed.
It's fixed. I don't even know.
What noise?
Yeah, you just got a free vacation, that's all.
Yeah, we're going to have to get this thing fired up and see if we can hear the noise and identify the noise.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. I like this kind of stuff.
This is mystery, like problem solving stuff. This is stuff that I hate when it's inconsistent, right? Like when you do it once and it's there and the next time it's not there, that's the worst, versus when it's just always there.
Well, it's always there. That's easy. This is far more rewarding.
Yeah, right, okay.
So, because like the actual hardest part of this on stuff like that is intermittent, is getting it to happen consistently enough to find it. And then once you get it to happen consistent, it's easy to fix and find. So really, the real diagnosing is getting it to make the noise.
Yeah.
Once we make the noise, it's just usually a matter of minutes chasing it down.
The plus side is, I believe, in order to make the noise, we're gonna have to drive the hell out of it.
Darn. Shucks.
No. We're gonna have to make the Capristo make good noises.
That's all it knows how to do.
Yeah.
Is make the right noises. It's 98, I think you told me?
Sounds right.
98. It is. I'll bring you guys back. We can look in here. It is an F1 car. It does have a 360 steering wheel on it, so there's that big improvement. And the interior is pretty great condition. You can see we have the Group M intake. He said it has a Capristo exhaust, has some carbon fiber. So it's a pretty nice car. It has a Challenge grille. It's a GTS, which is,
It's rare.
Yeah, they're rare and they're kind of my preferred.
Especially with the F1. He was saying like with the F1 GTS, I want to say it was only like 300 something. It's actually one of the rarest configurations for a 355.
Well, that's the first one I had on the channel was a 99 GTS F1 car.
Yeah, super rare.
Yeah, looks, I mean, considering the mileage on this car, looks really nice. It looks like a real clean, well-kept car. I guess we're gonna have to fire it up, see if we can hear any noises, and start putting some temperature in the engine, figure out what's going on.
Sweet.
All right, we're gonna get to it and just see where the day takes us.
We're just talking about the glorious sound that the 355 makes, and how it's just, you can't reproduce it in speakers.
And it's hard to explain how good it is.
Yeah.
You just have to experience it.
Like, see, this is okay, but listen to this. such a good sound.
Well, so far the only noise I hear it making is the right ones.
I know, right? Damn it, it's all good so far. And he says at idle, so let's let it sit for a second. That sounds totally normal.
Yeah.
It's not even missing.
Echo right off the trees and bushes.
I mean, this isn't the worst, you know, drive in the world. To
Not at all.
Oh no, we have to drive around a 355 for a while. Oh, this sucks. Oh, and we have to kind of beat on it a bit because we got to get nice and hot.
Yep.
Really? Damn it. My job sucks. Your job sucks.
For us.
Yeah.
For us.
Damn.
Yeah. All the wrong life choices we made to get here put us in this situation.
I'll let it idle for a moment.
Done.
Sounds like normal 355 noises to me. It's purring like a kitten.
Yep, so we just took it out for a drive. They have a nice test drive out here. Took it for a spin, got some heat in it, and the only noise that we heard was the noise that we want to hear, which is that beautiful 355 note out of that Custode exhaust. So I think our plan is to let it sit here and idle, heat soak is our goal, and then maybe take it back out and drive it some more, see if we can get some, replicate that noise.
I could give you some examples of 355 glorious noises.
Oh, sure, absolutely. Yeah, it's hard to argue with that combination.
God, that's good.
So good.
Never gets old.
I have to say, that's the first time I've been 1 foot from the exhaust when it's making that noise.
It's pleasant.
Much better there.
Isn't that glorious? Every time Jeff's around with his car, I'm like, can you just rev it? He's like, God damn it. I just want to hear that all day long.
Who doesn't? All right, well, we're gonna let it run. We're gonna see if we can get that noise to reappear so we can figure out what's going on. So we'll see you guys back in, gosh, who knows when.
We're striking out. Or at least no like glaring obvious stuff.
Yeah, we've had a successful day of disproving theories that we come up with.
It's this, no.
Yep.
No.
So I think the last I filmed, we had it outside and Dan gave us some glorious sounds from the car. We pulled it in here and put it on the 4-post. We were gonna just kind of look at it, get underneath of it. And then we started getting sidetracked with the flywheel.
Yeah. Which does make noise, not the noise.
The typical 355 flywheel rattle, when you shut the car off, it rattles back here, which is indicating it probably needs a flywheel repack or rebuild. So we kind of were thinking of that, and I was figuring maybe it was running rough, and that started to resonate at idle, and that's what he heard. So we were kind of talking that over, then the client actually called, and we talked to him, and he's like, I know, I've heard that noise, I know that noise, it wasn't that noise, and we're like, oh, okay, well then let's move off from that idea. Which is key on stuff like this. I was kind of stressing to Dan earlier is You come up with an idea, don't get too stuck on it, because then you just waste time and send yourself down the wrong road, because you're like attached to that idea because you think that's it and you want to prove yourself right.
Yeah.
So we were quick to be like, okay, moving on, let's try something else.
And it was helpful that he actually knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
Like it's a rare moment where the client knows his car so super well. He's had it for 13-ish years.
Yep.
And as soon as we started talking about that, he's like, no, I know that sound. Yep. I know what it is. And it's this, we didn't explain it to him. He explained it to us.
Exactly. Yes, that's the key. I could hear just from how he was describing the noise and when it did it and what it was. I'm like, he knows that that's the flywheel noise.
Yep.
We kind of changed paths. We did find when the car's in the air, there is a little bit of red/pink substance leaking out of the head gasket area in between the right head and the block.
All right, I hope you guys can see that, but you can see there is dried up coolant there on the bottom of the block, and you can actually see the coolant came out right where the head and block meet. And that's fresh coolant, although it's mostly dried up now. It evaporated, but that is...
yeah, our head gasket is right there.
Yeah, so that's our suspicion. Certainly we got to investigate that.
Worth checking out. We got something abnormal, and we have low coolant of the same color, abnormal, and matches.
Boo.
So let's gather more information.
Yep.
To support the new current theory.
Okay, new theory.
Yep. Then we kind of looked at the coolant expansion tank, and lo and behold, that is the same color as the coolant, and it was low. So we had talked about this earlier, I think pretty much before we started the car. We had a rough game plan of some things we wanted to check. The spark plugs being one of them. We wanted to get our eyes and just inspect those. So with the coolant, we kind of decided, let's pull the spark plugs out. Let's visually check the spark plugs themselves, check the spark plug wires, but really we can check the cylinders and see if there's any signs of coolant getting into the cylinders. And we'd be expecting to see that coolant get in there and steam clean the carbon and really have a clean cylinder. That would tell us there's a coolant getting in, cleaning everything out, and that would still indicate a gasket failure. And
Nope.
nothing.
Totally typical looking.
Yep. All the spark plugs look good. All the cylinders look good. We scrutinized number 4 because that's where that leak appears to be coming from. We pulled out the spark plugs on the other side. They all look good. I mean, there's tons of carbon there, which is normal, but it's consistent from all 8 cylinders. So we have the coolant pressure tester on it now. The spark plugs are still out of it. We're hoping to leave the coolant pressurized, this cooling system pressurized, so if there is a leak, maybe we get lucky and it pushes some of that coolant into the cylinder with the engine not running, and we can visually see it with the bore scope. So that's kind of where we're at here. And while we were waiting to burn time, we took care of one other check that we wanted to do, and we removed our oil filter from the car because they're very cheap and inexpensive. And take you guys over here. We cut the oil filter open, got the filter element out of the metal canister, and then we actually rip a section out. This is an extra step I take when I'm checking a filter, and I wrap it in a paper towel and squeeze it in a vise, and you can see how much more oil comes out of it. And then that makes it very easy to actually get in here and inspect your element to make sure that there's nothing wrong. And
no shiny bits.
Nothing. We found gasket material and silicone, which I would expect to see because of how many times these cars go through services and just small little pieces get in there. Harmless to the engine. Filter does its job and captures them. But it's not all lost, because doing the spark plugs, doing the oil filter was, in our eyes, low-hanging fruit, because we can verify that there is no metal in there, so there is likely no bottom end issue. There's no bearing issue. The spark plugs look healthy. The spark plug wires look healthy. So it gave us a bunch of known facts that everything looks really healthy.
Which doesn't help. What the hell was it?
It doesn't help, but it also means if we need to go continue to drive the car, we don't have to worry that we're doing more damage to the car. So think of these as basic health checks. We were hopeful that they would maybe give us more information on what's going on, but it's more so, is this engine healthy enough to continue running so we can continue diagnosing to figure out the noise? And I think, Dan and I just talked about it a little bit off camera, I think we're to the point where we might let it sit overnight, the coolant pressure tester on it, and then put it back together tomorrow and drive it. And we need to experience it before we...
Yeah, without hearing it, it's so impossible to know what the heck.
Yeah, and we could spend forever just checking random things and hope we stumble across it, but these were fairly targeted, and give us good information and peace of mind. So I don't know. I think we still got a little bit of time left in the day. We might kind of ponder it, but I said it at the beginning of the video. The hardest part of fixing cars or problems like this is getting them to happen so then you can fix them or to diagnose them.
I mean, on the plus side, he doesn't need to replace like a bunch of bearings and stuff. We know that for sure. Rod bearings are good, main bearings are good.
The bearings are good and the engine seems very healthy. We know it runs strong because we took it out and experienced it. There's something that was causing it to misfire and run rough. And I think the knocking noise was something else, maybe not necessarily directly engine related, that was resonating or knocking because of another secondary problem.
Like maybe vibrating so much.
Or the knock was the secondary problem. But we just have to get the car in that same state, then we'll be able to find the noise. I think we're gonna stew on this, and I will probably talk to you guys tomorrow morning. I'll let you know what we decided to do, and we have till tomorrow before I leave to get answers on this, so we'll see where it takes us. Good morning, it's Thursday morning.
It's my birthday.
Is it though? It is Thursday, yeah, and it's Dan's birthday.
Woohoo!
Yeah, so happy birthday for Dan.
Not such a happy birthday for Jeff.
Yep, so we've been here and actually doing a lot, and then a lot of things were changing very quickly. Therefore, I didn't get a chance to film, because same for Dan. We're about to film, and then things started changing and evolving, and we're like, we need to hold on and figure out what's going on with the car. Well,
making some phone calls.
Making phone calls. I think our working day ended relatively early here. And I guess I'll fill you in with where we started first thing in the morning. We left the coolant pressure tester on the car.
Yes.
And how much did we drop down?
We only went down 2 PSI. Went from 15 to 13.
Which is pretty good. I was pretty happy with that. And I will note, we'll come back to this later, we had the car and the lift lowered all the way down and left it there.
Yeah. It's relevant to the story.
It is relevant information.
This is called foreshadowing.
We borescoped the cylinders like we planned. There was no coolant in there. Everything looked fine. That's what I was expecting, but we were just going through the low-hanging fruit, easy checks. We did a compression test. We were pretty much 215, 205 on bank 1.
Yep.
205 on bank 2 with one.
One was 190.
One was 190, and we had one overachiever at 215. Again, wasn't expecting to find anything, but we were there, so we did that. And I'm trying to remember the sequence of events from there.
Then we kind of determined we were going to drive it and warm it up, and so we started putting everything back together.
Yes.
And then Randy almost ate shit on some coolant in front of the car.
Yep, we noticed a coolant puddle. You can see this pink residue on the floor right there, and we've mopped it up since, but then we ended up raising the car up and we found a coolant trail all the way under the car. That coolant trail went all the way right to center point of the engine right here. I guess we were correct on our head gasket theory.
Yeah.
Ish. Except it was leaking externally, not into a cylinder.
Yeah, which is strange.
That actually, we left the coolant pressure tester on, that leak that we noted yesterday on the side of the block actually really leaked out and pushed out the side and was leaking pretty bad.
We were sitting there chatting, and Randy stumbled upon a snail trail of coolant going all the way right here and back here. So that's right here is where we saw the coolant leaking off the block. And it definitely is.
Looks like it's leaking from right there.
Yeah, right there, right on the cylinder 4. There you go, look at that. Cylinder 4 leak. And then there's definitely a bigger leak up in the front. So, I mean, look at that, it's on the accessory belts and everything. That could be like the water pump, maybe?
Water pump or one of the many coolant hoses up in the front.
Yeah, all the coolant hoses
That
there.
It's like residual oil after you all went on a drive. But
Yeah, well, it looked like oil yesterday.
yeah. Well, that we weren't really calibrated for red.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen red coolant in a 355. I mean, doesn't mean there's no one stopping anyone from using it. It's usually green or blue.
Crap sticks.
I will say that this is a first for me for an external coolant leak on a 355 out the head gasket. Just first for everything.
Right?
I mean, I'm sure plenty of people have seen it. It's just the first time I've come across it.
Crap. Okay.
So once we saw that, we've been talking to Jeff, the owner of the car, trying to give him the information he needs so he can make a decision on the car, which that kind of has us stopped.
Yeah, it's that the cost, like, what's your ROI, right? Like the cost to fix the car versus selling the car as is probably a net zero gain, or it could actually potentially spend more money fixing the car than increasing the value of the car rather than just selling it as is. So we kind of said, here's what we believe the numbers are if he were to sell the car as is versus selling it fixed. It's arguably, like I said, a net zero difference or a potential loss to fix the car. So it's like, okay, so he's currently debating, do I sell it or do I keep it and fix it? Because we're looking at easily a $25,000 repair bill.
Yeah, you're looking at a major service, engine out, major service, and then you're looking to pull the heads. And Dan and I were just talking head gasket prices on the 355s. It's insane for what they are. It's $1,000 for just the gaskets.
Just the head gaskets?
Just the head gaskets. That's it, 2 gaskets. But on top of that, with the mileage this car has, 71,000 miles, it is smart to do a leak down test and really scrutinize the valve guides. And you can see that the scope of work can kind of start to grow. You're looking at a belt service, the head's off. If it needs valve guides, then it really just, things get out of control really quick on a higher mileage car. So that's where we gave that information to Jeff. He's figuring out what to do. There is conversations going on off camera amongst the collective group. So we have more that we know that we're not sharing with you guys, and you're just gonna have to hang out and see how this plays out, because we don't know yet, but we have some plans and ideas.
Yes.
But it looks like our day is done early.
You know what that means? Birthday margaritas.
Oh, yes, absolutely. We didn't get all the 355 content we were expecting, but I'm not gonna argue on margaritas. Not at all. Yeah, that's a story on the 355. I don't know how to feel about this. It's not what I was expecting. We did find stuff. It wasn't like this big.
It wasn't like the big smoking gun.
Yeah, and it wasn't like this big amazing thing. I don't know. I guess like
it's literally just like it fizzled out with a leak.
Like neutral fizzled out. Yeah. So like I said, you never know when we get into these. Dan and I talked a little bit before I came down. We kind of knew we were jumping into the unknown with the car, the Ferrari life.
Yeah. Right.
Well, what a busy and eventful week and a half. We had the first day of full work in the new shop, got a lot of stuff set up and arranged with, you know, new lighting where that's gonna go, lifts, just cleaning and organizing it. Then on Monday, the lifts got installed. We got all our tools moved in. I mean, I already have Wi-Fi, security at the shop, tools and equipment, client cars are all down there. And then we came down to Austin, did the collaboration with Dan on the 355. Unfortunately, you know, that project on that car didn't go quite like we expected and like we wanted, but still, we got some good content. Always great to collaborate with Dan and see him. It's a great group of guys down here. It's a great team, and it's always a lot of fun. So, you know, we even did have some small discussions on maybe Dan coming up to Seattle and coming in my shop and doing some stuff. So we'll see what the future holds for us. I think Dan and I are going to call it a day. Probably go and hit those margaritas that he mentioned earlier. Be sure to check out Dan's channel, Normal Guy Supercar. He has a lot of great Ferrari content, and he's also made some separate videos here with me during the collaboration. As always, guys, I appreciate your support for watching the channel. Really appreciate it. Be sure to hit the like button, hit the hype button, share the video, subscribe, make a comment, do all those things to tell the algorithm that you like the video and this channel is worth watching. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.